Hi again, everyone. I'm Ollie Matthews. This is the Narcissistic Resistance, and this resistance video is sponsored by contribution from Anonymous Daughter-in-Law, and this is a follow-up to Baby Boomer Ball Washers Follow Boomer Logic. And the problem there was her husband worshipped her father-in-law, his boomer father, so much, like just let him get away with all this fucking abuse, even against his own mother. So it was a good one. So here we go. This is a follow-up story on Baby Boomer Ball Washers Follow Boomer Logic from the Anonymous Daughter-in-Law, based on viewers' questions in Thanksgiving 2019 with my narc-mare in-laws. Thankfully, my husband is not a malignant narc. He is subconsciously programmed codependent. It doesn't matter. He's still a fucking ball washer. Whether he's a malignant narc or whatever, he's still washing those boomer nuts. Oh, he does it. His behavior does not demonstrate the pathological patterns of exploitation, lack of empathy, sadism, or perverse entitlement. He's never love-bombed, devalued, manipulated, projected, or discarded me. But he puts his family above you. He has positive traits such as a good friend, father, provider, and father. I'm not saying our relationship is wonderful because obviously with his narc-mare of a family's subconscious programming and his lack of insight and maturity, it has been shaken. Moreover, unlike his narc-plastic family, he's not obsessed about maintaining a false public image, and certainly not a coward with strangers like his father and older brother are. Nonetheless, I made it clear to him that he freezes and doesn't stand up to them when their behavior is wrong and makes people feel disrespected. Nevertheless, Ollie is right. He is the victim of Ollie is right. He is the victim of boomer narc worship and therefore lacks mature emotional discernment and healthy boundaries. Like a viewer mentioned, he does not even recognize the ugly bullies in his own family because he is enmeshed in their toxic programming. This is my main concern and hopefully a problem he can overcome, or we will end up divorcing. My mother-in-law was not a narcissist. She was a codependent, empathic people pleaser through and through. She spoiled her boys proudly, and not only was this abusive to the children, but self-sabotaging to herself. My husband could not even make a bed, and finally learned to wash his clothes in his 40s when he finally moved out of his parents' home. Your husband lived in... Listen, that should have been a major red flag to you. You were dating a guy in his 40s, living with his parents? The poor woman was a victim of her narc mother, who reportedly said that having a daughter was her retirement plan and she would be well taken care of in her old age. Let me look. I know you're saying your husband's not a malignant narc or whatever. Okay, no 40-year-old man. No 40-year-old man who has any type of self-respect, okay, could possibly still have his mommy doing his laundry for him in his 40s, living at home with his mom. Oh, Christ. Oh. I know people. I've had people in my life, in my old life, living at home with their mother their entire life, having their mother do their laundry for them their entire life. Okay? You want to be married to a big fat baby Huey? I mean, is that what you want? Remember baby Huey, the giant dinosaur with a diaper on him? That's your husband. And the fact that she would continue to do his laundry for him tells me that she was trying to son husband. The poor woman was the victim of her narc mother, who reportedly said that having a daughter was her retirement plan, and she meant she would be well taken care of in her old age. This great-grandmother died at 93 years old of Alzheimer's, and although I never met her, all the stories I've been told, she was a narcissistic witch, another old lady at church, called the aristocrat. Don't you think it's possible here? Though you're saying she's not a narc, okay? Because your husband was a male, she needed to make him into a son husband, okay? Narc women have much different relationships with their daughters than they do their sons. They abuse their daughters and turn them into a Cinderella servant. They turn their sons into son husbands for the same purpose. Don't you think your husband living at home at 40, her doing his wash was just a means of having her herself? Even though she's doing the laundry, she's putting in time to have herself taken care of, having him around. I'm sure there was some benefit of having him live at home with his mom and dad until in his 40s. My mother-in-law had the perfect blend of integrity and gullibility suitable to be married to a covert narc. He used her as the perfect domestic cover for his dual life. She was a sweet, integral, honest person. People assume he is likewise a good guy by association camouflage. She was his trophy wife. I fell for this clever illusion until her illness, and then the insidious abuse came to light. Now I can't stand him because I smell the putrid ego behind the good guy persona. This man baby can't ever wish anyone who he deemed inferior or cannot control a happy birthday or holidays because he's such a miserable, hollow person. He even enjoys triangulating the help. By giving cash bonuses to one in front of the other he targets, to completely devalue them. One of the caretakers fights back and does not tolerate his bullshit, so he despises her. He is terrified of firing her because she has pictures and documents of the abuse of his invalid wife. So they have this hostile employment situation. This miserable man is so fake that he will get to church 5 minutes before dismissal and take out his checkbook in front of everyone in order to get the most validation for gift giving to the church. Religious narcs are the worst. They can mimic the Good Samaritan script. He does not go to church because he wants to worship God, self-improve, or help his fellow man. It's for attention, admiration, adulation, networking, communal narcissistic supply. I'm generous, look at me, and to preserve his good guy image. This hypocrite will not use profanity because it's vulgar, or what he calls empty rhetoric, but will say cruel, dehumanizing, insulting comments, such as prostitution, sexual bondage is legal. With an indigent voice, he readily accuses people of gossiping to invalidate their opinions, yet will have dehumanizing nicknames for people he likes to gossip and make fun of. Remember, Satan and his agents disguise themselves as angels of light. I avoid him at all costs, and I certainly act stoic around him. He hates my gray rocking. I've started to set surveillance, alarms, and strict boundaries with these narc freaks, and my husband must respect these. My husband calls me the feisty boxer. However, like another viewer mentioned, he needs to step up and protect our interests from these predators. Since he's oblivious to their deceptive abuse, I'm going to have to point it out. He is bewitched by their boomer narc non-existent logic. Like another viewer mentioned, my husband is their lapdog pet, and it's disturbing. He's Baby Huey. He's a giant dinosaur wearing a diaper. That's what the boomers do. They turn you into Baby Huey. They turn their sons into a giant Baby Huey. He said there are eccentric. eccentrics and they are amusing. I strongly disagree. Eccentrics are creative and engaging, and his family is irritating and unlikable. Even the help has never worked with such uncourteous aliens from another planet. The help's words, not mine. I've pointed out to him their weird narc behaviors and that I do not share those core values. I do not treat people like resources, transactions, or employees to do my beckoning. I respect people's free will individually and humanity. Our son even has made it clear he does not appreciate being bossed around and that he does not have to be like his daddy, and he wants to be his own person. So even your kids know their father's weak. The boy is correct. He has the right to become the person he is destined to be, not to be molded by us. Our job as parents is to provide the healthy environment and resources he needs to become a responsible, productive adult. Our children are not extensions of ourselves, but rather reflect our parenting skills and love or lack thereof. The family havoc was exposed because of my mother-in-law's incapacitation, and like Ali stated, it's all about the money grab in their narc minds. How dishonorable. It is her retirement and pension, which she worked for, not their money. Hoarding everyone's money to them is about control and dominance. Oh, and they are pathologically envious of other relatives that have more money and successful businesses. My brother-in-law has jealous tantrums because two of his female cousins are highly happy and successful entrepreneurs. One is a medical doctor, the other is a savvy restaurateur. This is why he is a professor, to feel superior because his students are subordinates. Yep. Figures. The other baby Huey goes and becomes an academic somewhere that's not in the real world where you can boss around a bunch of children. In retrospect, I'm not saying this to boast, but he envies my husband because my husband is the smartest and happiest of them all. My husband is a lawyer with his own business, mentors his old high schools and university mock trial teams, has genuine childhood friends, is a creative person who has written a book, written and produced his own independent film, has a younger wife, had the male heir to their last name, my son, has a nicer house, drives better vehicles, and is generally a happy person. It is amusing to watch my in-laws' self-inflicted misery. Live and let live, losers. We all have different fingerprints, talents, weaknesses, so we are meant to live different life journeys. All this success, and he can't stop washing their balls. Another viewer mentioned that my father-in-law must crave a funeral party, and they are correct. My father-in-law does want to have a big funeral celebration to honor his eternal memory. I don't know for what. He hasn't contributed greatly to philanthropy or discovered a cure for cancer. It's all a part of the narc film script where they are the underdog hero, especially talented, but never the villain in the movie. Yet we know the truth of their evil existence. Here we go. The Thanksgiving 2019 entertainment. Not relaxed, bonding like normal families do. Gratefully, covert narc grandmaster father-in-law stayed home. But the three of us, my husband, son, and I, fly down to the south to my bro and sister-in-law's house. Normally, my sister-in-law hates to cook, clean, or be hospitable in general. To quote my brother-in-law, who said years ago, "Don't treat them well so they don't come back to visit." However, this time, since they wanted to impress the daughter's engineer boyfriend, voila, she transformed herself into Martha Stewart. Ollie, she even had prime rib on the Thanksgiving menu. Just like like boom. Just like the story you told us during the holidays in your childhood. about Virginia wanting to impress her boyfriend. Yup, never forget the prime rib Christmas when when she was dating Montana Frank. Oh, God. Prime rib and presents as far as the eye could see that year, boy. Oh, boy, did we get presents that year. Presents and prime rib. Well, we all had prime rib. Little fat boy, Precious, he had a Stouffer's freaking frozen dinner because that's all the little fat little pig would eat. Little shitbag. You little shitbag. She also baked pumpkin pies and berry cobblers. She decorated the Christmas tree and house with my 6-year-old to make memories. Furthermore, they managed to invite themselves, her brother, sister-in-law, niece, and the boyfriend, and us to a friend's house for a Thanksgiving potluck. I felt so out of place. What normal person brings an entourage of 7 additional people to their friend's house for Thanksgiving? They are so lazy, lack empathy, entitled, and exploitive. My sister-in-law is supposedly best friends with this lady. She even managed to have a picture of herself and the daughter on their hallway wall. As usual, this is some toxic codependent relationship. My sister-in-law, in the same sentence, briefed me on her best friend being this overachiever, rich super lawyer with 2 defective daughters. One girl is bipolar, the other has a heart monitor for major health issues. It seems to me that my sister-in-law gets her narc supply from this highly successful friend's caring attention and at the same time canceling her pathological jealousy with seeing the suffering her friends have with managing these major health issues with their children. The sister-in-law called the girls broken cunt. By the way, my sister-in-law was so grateful she did not have any Thanksgiving cleanup to do. She said this out loud. What great people. On Black Friday, we took an excursion to an underground gold mine, and she paid for everyone admission tickets. Unseen generosity in the 8 years I've been married. The daughters, my husband's boyfriend, seem like a smart guy and a good candidate for marriage, and they want to marry her off at 21. What? She's not even 21 and they're trying to push marriage on her? God damn it. Trying to marry her off at 21 and probably will encourage them to elope or go to the local courthouse to hoard more money, I suppose. These weirdos, parents and the daughter, skip both their high school and college graduations because those celebrations are for ordinary people and they are special. A round of applause for this spectacular Thanksgiving performance from these 2 narcs. I wanted to laugh so hard, but I maintained my composure. It's always weird when you know you're caught up in the narc performance and you just want to see where it goes. Like, where is it? Like, you're fascinated by it. And I remember that's how I felt that Christmas. I was like, how long, how nice can they be? How long? It was the only Christmas that there was not a fight between the 3 sisters, a blood-curdling fucking cat fight. You fucking motherfucker, give me, I'll kill you. In 1956, you took this for, oh my God. Yeah, that's... So you're sitting there just like, I'm like, how long is this going to go for? What a shit show. Once you know how narcs operate, they're so predictable. Either always the victim or hero, but never the bad guy. So the 4 of us are sitting in the kitchen, and my bro and sister-in-law start complaining about their difficult tenants. They rent the 3 rooms of their house next door, literally a couple yards away. Remember, their daughter lives there, pays them rent also. Anyways, turns out that the 2 young ladies started asserting boundaries and requesting a formal lease, which my sister-in-law refuses to provide. Turns out these negligent narcs did not collect a security deposit, prepare a lease, check references, and my sister-in-law goes into that house to perform maintenance, including moving or removing furniture without the young lady giving the young ladies proper notice. Yeah, that's illegal. You cannot do that. You cannot do that. To make circumstances even worse, one of them has lupus, and a registered nurse makes in-home bi-monthly visits to complete injections and therapy. My brother and sister-in-law has the audacity to protest. She says she uses her lupus for attention, pity, and takes over the living room for several hours on Saturdays. It's all about dominance and the money with them. Narcs view people as transactions or slaves. If you dare assert your individuality, set boundaries, and claim your human rights, you are labeled difficult. She paid some lawyer $1,000 because she wants to kick these two ladies out of the house. She can't control them, so she wants to dispose of them. Their words exactly as their rights as tenant of their words exactly of their rights as tenants. Nonetheless, I'm grateful for my sister-in-law's projections. She is the one who accused her eldest sister and now her tenants of being covert narcissists, and it suggested I look at YouTube videos. The accusations are confessions with these freaks. Yep, usually are. Thankfully, we were with them for 4 days without incident of overt disrespect. Remember, the boyfriend is visiting. Until I overheard a conversation between my brother-in-law and husband that sounded like the nuclear alarm for me. I waited until we got back home to confront my husband. Turns out my brother-in-law conned my husband into doing his taxes. Your husband is such a fucking pussy. He is such a fucking pussy. Turns out my brother-in-law conned my husband into doing his taxes because he's an accountant, CPA, business professor, and wannabe tax expert. I warned my husband not to do this because I felt uncomfortable sharing intimate financial information. Oh, the brother-in-law wanted to do your... Are you insane? What are you, with the way they are, they spread your fucking information around. Are you insane? Well, he is. What a pussy. They want your financial information. Suck my dick. How about that, bro? I warned my husband not to do this because I felt uncomfortable sharing this intimate financial information. It's like sharing our favorite Kama Sutra positions, completely inappropriate. My husband sternly brushed me off and says he trusts his big brother. Grow up, you pussy! Grow, my big brother. You're a lawyer. Go do your own fucking taxes. You're going to have your brother do your taxes from a state when he's a CPA in a state he doesn't even live in? Didn't you say you had to fly down there and it's in a different state? Anyway, not only did he overcharge my husband to his financial business, LLC, and our personal taxes, he managed to squeeze more money out of my husband to deposit into a 529 college savings plan and investments in that southern state where my brother-in-law is the sole custodian. We already have a 529 plan in our state of residence, and my son doesn't need another college savings account. Who knows? He probably did not even open this account and deposited that money elsewhere. My brother-in-law is a predator. It's clear to me that he has or had no plans to give that money back to my son. My husband is so gullible. He really believes his brother's bogus rationalizations. I asked my husband if his brother gave him thousands of dollars to save for his niece in a 529 savings account for her college tuition. I asked my husband, if you did legal work for your brother, would you charge him 3 times the normal legal fees? We all know the answers to those questions are no. If he or his brother dies, how do I recover that money? The answer is I will not recover that money because my sister-in-law will not give it to us. Write that money off. Write that money off. I sent my brother-in-law, Predator, a certified letter that he close any and all accounts with my son's name and provide proof, or I'll report him to the IRS and his state's board of accountancy. Good. My husband also asked his brother to close and refund the money. God damn it. This is when the baby boomer ball washers turn on each other. Consequently, I demanded that we find a real tax attorney and CPA professional in our state that we are both confident in to complete our 2009 and future taxes. Well, who's been doing your taxes up until now? Lastly, I also consulted with a family lawyer about putting together a postnuptial agreement for us, since my husband lacks healthy boundaries when it comes to these predators. My husband is adamant that he doesn't want a divorce, but I am being strategic and planning an exit. I need to know our total assets, liabilities, and plan accordingly to get away from these narcs. He really needs to man up, snap out of the narc cult groupthink, or I'm leaving. I'm going to start pressuring him for us to go to couples counseling in an attempt to break this toxic enmeshment with these narcs. Good luck. Good luck. I really do not want to traumatize my son with a divorce. We do not fight or have disagreements in front of him in order to avoid hurting our 6-year-old son. It is my prediction that once or if my husband starts protecting us with healthy boundaries, they are going to show him personally their true colors, their true narc colors, and he will realize that it's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. It's just part of parcel with narcs. Didn't they already show their true colors when he tried to triple charge him and take your kid's money? What more proof do you need? Like, what more proof do you need? Your sister-in-law's behavior, all this shit that goes on in the family. What proof? Like, what do you think it's going to wake him up now? The only thing that's going to wake him up now is you threatening to leave him and going through with it. That's it. That's it. Because up until this point, the ball washer has not faced any consequences. Nothing will change with the boomer ball washer until they face consequences. What else do you think needs to happen? Do they got to come down and fucking come up there and burn your fucking house to the ground and then piss on the ashes? What? Taking money, triple charging your finance, your taxes, and taking your children's money, your child's money. What more does this fucking guy need? You need to start using stronger language yourself. It's like, I forbid it. I forbid you to give any of my information to anybody in your fucking family. I forbid it. You want to do it, then we'll get divorced, can file separate taxes and what have you. You ever do that again. You ever do that again. Ever. You can hire your own divorce attorney. Nothing will change until the ball washer faces consequences. It's never been a proper relationship of love and honor, but rather a relationship of I'm the master and you're my slaves. If my husband stops worshiping them and starts protecting his wife and child, they are going to pee on themselves from fear and rage of losing control. Oh, well. My brother-in-law is coming at the end of the month, and I'm going to demand a refund or he will have to explain to the IRS, state CPA board, his university employer, and all prospective new clients, Google reviews, why he stole money from his own brother and nephew. He thinks I'm just a submissive, stupid wife and mother because I do not have a PhD or professional degrees. Wipe your ass with his academic bullshit, okay? Because he's nothing more than a true grifter. That's a grifter. Although my husband has acknowledged that I have a PhD in common sense, please let me know what I missed to get our money back and what you think. I would fuck that. I would call him myself. Say, hey, motherfucker, I want my fucking, and you send him the letter, okay? I wouldn't even let him in. Where's my money? Where's my money? Better have my money when I come to collect. Pay up, pay up, pay up. As the musical poet Stitches once sang in its song about a different topic. Better have my money when I come to collect. Pay up, pay up, pay up. That's it. No, 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 no. We're not going anywhere. We're not moving anywhere. You're not getting in this house. Where's my money, motherfucker? Bitch better have my money. Bitch better have my money. Just like that. Better have my money when I come to collect. Pay up, pay up, pay up. Unbelievable. Look, nothing is going to change. Okay, what more does your husband need? What more proof? It's all in front of me. He just doesn't want to see it. And the reason he doesn't want to see it is because you haven't made him face real consequences. Nothing changes until the baby boomer's ball washer faces consequences. Period. Until that happens, you can expect more of the same. So, I hope that helps. Thank you so much for another contribution and story. I really appreciate it. Thank you to everybody watching. Please leave any opinions or advice in the comment section below. And again, if you want your story read on the channel, you have a topic you'd like me to cover, a narcissist you'd like to expose, you'd like to have a private video made, or you just like to make a contribution to the channel in general to keep it supported, growing, and successful, because this channel survives 100% on contributions from all of you. Without you guys, all of this goes away. And YouTube and Google are trying to make that happen sooner than later. So if you like what you see here and you want to see more videos like this, you know what to do with the PayPal and email links in the description box. Also, please like and share this video wherever you can. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't, and be sure to click the subscription bell to be notified of all my video uploads. Also, be sure to follow me on the library app, which links are located in the description box as well. I'm Ollie Matthews. This has been the Narcissistic Resistance. Take care.